another episode of Comicman06. So today we're talking about a film by Disney called Jungle Cruise. The film, before I get to it, let me tell you something here. See, during the, but it's 2000s, Disney tried to do something to start their own way before they made the adventure films. It was the rides universe type thing, okay? Pretty much Disney decided, let's make movies off of our famous rides of all time. Why do not other studios try to catch on this? Because they knew it was a sinking ship and never said, let's do a film franchise on a bunch of rides. Because they know it's a sinking ship. But that did not get above Disney. Disney said, nah, let's try it. They made a bomb in the haunted house. But they did get one success. The Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Anyway, the Pirates of the Caribbean films were a big success in a great way. But they started making sequels, and the sequels started to get uninteresting. Which is why they said, hey, let's just stop with the ride films and just forget about them for a while. Which they did for a bit of time until they released the new Pirates of the Caribbean film recently. That's what I mean by recently, it's a long time ago. But anyway, they said, let's make another film. And why not have the big action movie star, the blockbuster star himself, Wait, he's not John Cena? Oh, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in this film. Yes, of course, he was casted for the film and didn't do a bad job in this film. The main part of this film is that, how I put this to, explorer named Lily and her brother McGregor go looking for a magical tree that has a certain life factor to it. They hire a captain of a boat named Frank to help them. And, well, they kind of run into their own enemy of this film, which is called Prince, how I say his name, because he kills people who say his name wrong. Keem, something like that. Anyway, that's his problem. He wants to kill them because he's after the plant too. For what reason, we do not know. But he's after the plant and hires some old natural evil villains who are cursed to be part of the island themselves, and now they're hunting them down too. Here's my problem with those parts of the cursed island people. They could have been practical pretty well. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the effects they did for them not being practical, but allow me to explain how Pirates of the Caribbean did. Yes, the skeletons were, how I put this to you, non-practical. They were actual skeleton CGIs. But none of them characters, when they were doing pirate stuff as human beings, were practical effects. So it made it a little bit more action-packed. This film, in general, doesn't do all that. It's going in its own route where it kills itself at a pace. Now, like I said before, here's my problem with this film. There's no character development for half the characters. You're probably saying that's crazy. Yes, Paul Giamatti is in this film and he's not even given enough time on the screen. He comes in and comes out of the film pretty simple and then comes in at the end for a couple seconds. So, yes, the plain part of this film is pretty simple. And I did love how they included the jungle ride in here, but here's the problems. Again, half of the characters weren't given good explanations. Like, why is Prince Joachim looking for this flower? It makes no sense why he's looking for it, as it's not explained perfectly. See, now, if you're going to do this, you should at least explain why some of these characters want to look for this flower. Like Lily, she's not explaining technically why she wants to look for the flower either. She's like, I just want to find this flower because I just want to find it. The writers didn't give me enough information. McGregor's giving a sort of comic story to him, and I pretty liked it. But Frank's story was given a lot more time than Lily's story or Prince Joachim's story. Their stories were pushed to the sideline, including a little bit of McGregor's story for Frank's story. And Frank's story is kind of boring in my opinion as a story goes. Why? It's pretty boring, like I said before. Now, if you want to watch a film that's, well, pretty much boats, explosions on big city, big towns and stuff, and type of villains that are monsters, and a little bit of sword fighting at the end, you should go watch Waterworld. I'm just playing. This film is not fully like Waterworld, but gives me some vibes. It tries to bring back them action-adventure films of the late, how I put this to you, 1930s to 20s, and it doesn't do that pretty well. if it was gonna do it, it should have done what those films did. At least explain why these characters were going on these adventures. Even in the Indiana Jones films, I hate to say this to you guys, which I love them film trilogies, the problem is pretty simple. At least he was an explorer. He's an explorer who goes out looking for these artifacts like an archaeologist. But instead, nothing's explained to her or McGregor. They're just wanting to go out looking for this. It could have been better explained in my opinion. But since they didn't want to do it, it's pretty much not explanatory. But did this film suck? Oh my god, no. It officially didn't suck, but it wasn't good either, as I said many times before. The film, in my opinion, is a wasted opportunity to make a good film. At least with the Pirates of the Caribbean films, which are trying to go off of what they know of the Pirates of the Caribbean, it's pretty much this. We'll have some of the right stuff in there, but we're going to make our own mythology to it. This film tries to do that, but fails at this level. The thing to say is the great acting in this film. I feel like the actors really did try to do what they were given. With some of the script that they were given, they tried to work with it. And I'll say they technically did work with it. And they made it pretty good and enjoyable. But for other stuff like action scenes and stuff, if you're going and thinking it's going to be like those films where we're going to get a couple action scenes, you're sadly mistaken because you're not going to get many of them. You're going to get a lot of slow talking scenes, romantic scenes, and a lot of just avalanches and waves trying to kill character scenes. But for the rest of the film, it's pretty much that. And is this film any good? It's not. But is it any bad? On certain levels. And on certain levels it's good. And I can't say it's an okay film because okay films have okay stuff in there. I guess I could put this film in a weird category because it doesn't have one. I'll give it a 5 out of 10 if I'm rating this film because it's nothing for me to watch really, as it doesn't go to my authorities of being a okay or good film. Like I said before, the acting saves this film and that's what keeps the film interesting and going on. But that is the end of the review, and if you like this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and please turn on notifications. Please, I'm officially back now. So, with all that out of the way, I'll see you guys next time.